Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Justin Bradford, but my friends call me JB. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe, and turn on your post notification. Hit the bell in the top corner, one of the corners. As you can see, or as you can tell by today's title, I am sharing why I cut my hair, or just the fact that I cut it. I've shared it on Instagram and TikTok in a reel, but I haven't sat down and really shared what led me to the decision, or in a long form content format, why I cut my hair. But just in a nutshell, it was connected to my dermatitis. So today we're going to talk about me cutting my hair, what led me to the decision, the journey that I'm on, and how essentially this isn't the end of an era for my hair. It's just a new beginning, but more of a reset, right? I'm just resetting, taking a break from my long tresses, taking a break from Diana, as my friends like to call my hair. So Diana is still here, just in a new style, a new cut, a new color. But no, so I'm just taking a break, doing something different for the time being, and resetting. So let's jump right into it and discuss what dermatitis is, what does it make me feel like, what led me to where I am now. So after moving to Dallas, I found a new dermatologist here, and she's Black. And not that my dermatologist has to be Black, but sometimes you just want somebody who looks like you, who understands what you're going through, and not being misdiagnosed. When I was in Memphis, I had a dermatologist, and he was white, but I was misdiagnosed. He diagnosed me with psoriasis, but psoriasis is way more severe than dermatitis. So after coming to Dallas and finding a dermatologist here and working with her for a few months, well, really immediately she noticed or named that I was misdiagnosed. But we tried new products, did some testing, and yes, I do not have psoriasis, I have dermatitis. But we changed some of our prescriptions, or like the ointments, shampoos, and then some things we didn't change. She advised me to stop using the alcohol-based hair drops, because there's an alcohol-based hair drop that he prescribed me, but that also was probably too much for my hair. 2 shampoos now. At first I had 1, now I have 2, and then she gave me a second ointment. But in a nutshell, he misdiagnosed me with psoriasis instead of dermatitis. He gave me 1 shampoo to use, whereas now I have 2. One that's less potent, and then one that is the original one that he gave me, which is really strong, right? And then the cream he gave me, I learned it's too strong for my face. Skin is way softer on our face than it is everywhere else, which that wasn't really new, but when you hear a doctor talk about it, it's like, oh, well, I mean, that makes sense. So she gave me a second cream that's like half of the strength of the one that he prescribed to me. So now I have both. The stronger one I use, like my chest, because I do get breakouts in my chest area here. And then I get T-zone breakouts, but it's the worst on my scalp. And I know a lot of times it doesn't look like it from pictures of content that I have breakouts on my chest or my face, because I managed them well. But the one thing I was not managing well, or struggling with rather, was my scalp. And so it took me some time. I thought about it. I had to sit with self to make sure that I wanted to cut my hair. But it was less of, oh, a new haircut for the summer, or a new do. Is this what I need right now? Will this help me? Is this the right decision? Because I've had long hair or big curly hair for so long that it became part of my identity. Even if I would say I am not my hair, in the words of India Ari. But so many people, whether it was professionally, my friends, in the content space, people identify Jay Bradford or Justin Bradford by his big curly hair. Even when I've done editorial photo shoots, so forth, people would remember me solely, and as far as visual identification, by the curly tresses that I had. So much so that my friends coined my name as Diana, naming my hair after Diana Ross, but doing a naming console inspired by Donna, or Donna's Recipe from Tabitha Brown, right? Auntie Tab, her hair's name is Donna, and so my friends named my hair Diana after Diana Ross and her infamous hair. But I was like, I need a break. My flare-ups got worse, and after working with my dermatologist, I also learned that even some of the products that like my braider were used, because you guys know, in the summertime, often I would wear stitch braids and these super cool patterns, and my braider, he is, in the best words, the sugar honey iced tea. He is phenomenal, so much so that he's grown so fast on Instagram. Other celebrity hairstylists have, tagged him in content, resharing, reposting his work, using his work as inspo. He's been invited out by hair brands or who carry the products that he used on his clients, like one being the Lock and Twist brand. And for a long time, I thought that gel wasn't the best for my hair, but what we learned is, or myself and my dermatologist, was one, for my hair specifically, it's really soft and curly. And so when he blow dries my hair straight, not only does it take way more product than he uses with some of his other clients, because my hair is soft and naturally it's curly, so my hair usually wants to draw back up into these curls. And so he blow dries it and then used all this gel to hold and lock in the stitch design, but also the braids and the flyaways. And by definition, dermatitis and psoriasis is the overproduction in yeast in the human body. So quite naturally, I'm going to produce the yeast from the dermatitis, right? And I'm going to flake. Yes, I have products now like shampoos and conditioners and sprays that remedy those things to some extent. But sometimes you get flare-ups with dermatitis and psoriasis, and you can't really control when they happen because sometimes they're triggered by stress, weather, what we eat, or what we drink, so what we consume essentially. And so anyway, with the gel, it wasn't that the gel is bad for me or that my scalp is allergic to it. One, having dermatitis and psoriasis kind of puts you in the bucket of the folks with sensitive skin. So sensitive skin or sensitive scalp. My scalp is super sensitive, but then I need more product, so it causes buildup quicker or thicker, more and more of the buildup, right? And so my dermatologist said that you should start to only wear your braids for no longer than 2, at most maybe 3 weeks. Whereas if Lay braids my hair or anybody else's hair, the styles he puts in your hair, depending on how intricate it is or non-intricate it is, the styles can last about 4 weeks, honestly, maybe 4.5 weeks. I've seen some of his clients wear their hair or their hairstyles for a long time. Justin can't do that, right? My hair will last for about 1.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks before flakes start to develop where you can see them. And sometimes for me, and maybe for a lot of people, but I can speak for me, sometimes dermatitis will rob you of your confidence, right? Because what looks like to other people, oh, your scalp is dirty, it's nasty, you got a lot of danger, is really just your dermatitis, right? And so there's been instances where I'm, out traveling with friends where people have assumed that, oh, your hair is just flaky, like what the fuck? Basically, excuse my French. I have to educate them. No, it's not that my scalp is nasty. I don't go months without shampooing it. I probably shampoo my hair as much as you do, but I have dermatitis. And if you don't know what that is, I can educate you, but that's gonna take up 30 minutes of our time. But in a nutshell, what you're looking at is not necessarily just dandruff, it's dermatitis. And I may have had a flare up, whether it's extreme heat, it can rain, I could be stressed, any other things. And I'll be honest, sometimes dermatitis robs you of your confidence because you have to walk around with these flakes. And so sometimes, and I don't know if you guys have even noticed, but if you go and watch back some of my content, there's been times where I just got my hair done and then when I'm out to travel, and then in the travel vlog, I have a hat on. And a lot of people ask me, why are you wearing a hat if you just got your hair done? Sometimes the answer was, even if I didn't tell them or not in the moment, was because I have dermatitis. Sometimes it will flare. So I decided to cut my hair, and I contemplated for a long time whether I wanted to actually go through with it or not. But I was like, you know what, Lord, I need to try something different. Having shorter hair means I can shampoo my hair more frequently, or as much as I need to if I do, and or even when I'm traveling, right? I could even just use some of the shampoos from the brands I trust the most, even if I don't have my medicated shampoo with me, to just shampoo my hair and my scalp, treat my scalp and treat my condition. And so that's more of what it is for me, just something that's more manageable. Now, I do plan to grow my hair back. I'm not sure exactly when. I thought about the fall, but I was like, let me just give myself a few months and then maybe I'll decide by fall when exactly I want to start that journey. Because before even cutting my hair, I had already thought to cut it shorter and try to grow everything back evenly. Because I don't know if y'all remember in the front here, I had a taper situation plus tape on the side. Now I have more of a drop fade. I don't know if y'all can really tell because my hair is grown out on the side, but it's more of a drop fade. So once I get it cut tomorrow and before the weekend and before more traveling, y'all will be able to see that it's a drop fade. But right now, it just kind of look like a modified fro because it's growing out. And when I'm not traveling, I give my head a break from clippers, all of that. Even my beard, like now, it looks a little bit more full. That's why I cut it. Everybody was asking like, "Oh, is this AI? Is this real? Did you really cut your hair? Wait, OMG, why your hair look like that? Is your hair cut off or is it in a ponytail?" There was so many different questions and concerns about my hair being gone, and so at first I was like hesitant to really share. So it took me this long to give y'all the video, but I was like, I did this for me. I more than just a new style and a new situation, new look, all that, which is not that new, but you know what I mean. Like, it was more because I needed the break. Like, even now, well, you can't really see, but I had some flare up right here earlier that I took care of already because I just kind of flicked it off. But I can put more on this, and even if I need to shampoo my hair, this will dry quicker at this length versus if I had big full hair. It's easier to wash my hair now and just go and let it air dry versus before leaving my home with big curly hair and it needs to dry. It takes way longer because in actuality my hair was like this long, and so I cut all of that off. Even when I trimmed it a few inches, it was still down to here if it was straightened. But shrinkage is real, so it will sit up and big, but it would take almost a full 24 hours, sometimes even longer, to dry, like a day and a half, depending on how I had it like twisted up or wrapped up at night. And so I can't just shampoo and go out that way. Whereas with this, I can shampoo, go, maybe use a t-shirt or cotton, like not a regular towel, but the ones that are made for curly hair to prevent freeze, and kind of just squeeze water out, put in my leave-in conditioner or whatever, my Donna's Recipe, whatever product I'm using that day, and it would be fine. I couldn't do that before. It was more work. And so I think part of the sign from the universe and God for me cutting the hair and taking the break that I needed and not being so concerned with my image, my identity, what people are used to seeing via content and so forth, was the email that I got from Tabitha Brown and her team at Donna's Recipe. And so they reached out to me and they asked me to join their ambassador program. And so that was like my sign. And when I was sharing it with Jeff and Denzel, when I was sharing it with Denzel and Zan, but Jeffrey too, but when I was sharing it with them, they were saying, maybe you should wait, maybe you should see what they want you to do, what they want to do with your hair and your content. And I was like, well, the one thing that stood out to me in the email is that they enjoyed my storytelling and how I was sharing my journey now in terms of my hair. And so I was like, no, why should I cut my hair off? They are attracted to me because of me sharing and telling my story and my storytelling. This is a part of my story, but also part of my actual life. So I'm doing this for me and not to keep up with this image, right? I think so much of social media isn't real and it doesn't allow us to be human, but I'm human. I'm human and I have fucking seborrheic dermatitis. I'm not going to hide that, right? If anything, I want to create space for other people who have the same conditions as me and they feel safe to share with creators like me instead of feeling like they need to be perfect or, only connect to the parts of Justin that buy Van Cleef and Cartier and drive a Range Rover. I'm human just like you, and those things are just the tangible things, but they mean nothing at the root of me, right? I have some of the same issues as everybody else. And one of those things being seborrheic dermatitis, right? And that some days I don't feel my best because of my scalp condition and the way it makes me feel. And so I decided to still cut my hair, but still join the ambassador program, which I'll share with y'all the products that they send me. But I wanted to come here and just kind of share with y'all, open up the floor for me. And hopefully this opens up the space for anybody else who's experiencing the same thing as me. Y'all are open to sharing, but then also sharing your remedies, and I can share my remedies and the things that work for me, but also share with products because I'm so ecstatic to be partnering with them and joining the ambassador program. But also today's hairdo and style, texture, curl, and pattern is due in part largely to Donna's Recipe. So before we wrap up this video, let me just share with y'all what I have here. So they sent me a box full of goodies. The first product being the Donna's Recipe Sweet Potato Pie Extra Creamy Hair Cream. So this is the first product. They also sent me the Extra Creamy Moisturizing Conditioner and the Sweet Potato Pie recipe. I also have the Extra Creamy Moisturizing Shampoo in the same, in the same formula, which These smell really good. I've used these before, and I bought them with my own money, so I know I'm partnering with them, and it's easy to just be like, oh, you got this stuff for free, so you'll tell us anything. One, Auntie Tab has big, beautiful hair. She wears so many styles, and so I know so many people who use the product, so I trust what she releases. But I also like to, sometimes test products for myself and spend my own money. But these are all products I have in my cabinet. And if y'all don't believe me, I will go in my bathroom and I will leave all of these here and show y'all the cabinet full of Donna's Recipe that I have. But they sent me the extra creamy sweet potato pie products. And then they also sent me, which y'all know I bought these with my own money too, but they sent me more of the whipped vanilla cream curl defining mousse and curl enhancing gel, which is also called the Curl Duo system on their website and in some of the retailers. So I have more of the products in, like, I think a spread bottle from them for my hair and maybe like a comb or brush or something. A lot of stuff, but I was excited to join the program. I look forward to future opportunities and events to be able to come in and create space for people who have the same issues, but also people who have hair textures like yours and yours and yours and yours and mine, Auntie Tabs, and just being bold, black, and beautiful, or whatever color you are and you have, and we relate to big, beautiful hair and just wanted to look our best all the time, right? Donna's Recipe helps me look my best, and I'm excited to just be working with the brand, but also just being recognized by the brand. And that was my little nudge from the universe, but from God, to stop worrying, stop stressing. You're not perfect, you're human. Be you and wear all your SHIT on your sleeves and let people connect to you, but connect to people, So I wanted to come and share that with y'all and just give y'all a little bit of an update. So yeah, thanks for listening to my TED Talk for today and my rant about my seborrheic dermatitis. If you guys are in the Dallas area, I would love to share my dermatologist with you. But that is all for today's video. Thanks for joining us, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.